The darkness growing on me on XFM 104.9. Oh, it's all going well already, isn't it? The microphones fell apart. Carl's shouting because he got headphones on.
His music's turned up too loud.
Canfield level. God, it got pre-out. Look at him giggling. Look at him. Look at him laughing. That's so funny because I got a letter here from who was it from? Mike Heel, who sent me a little picture of a little Japanese fella from a film who said looks like me, and he does a little bit. But he says, please can you make Karl laugh? I've never heard him utter as much as a snigger, and I'm worried he may have a genetic disorder. Well, I mean, he has got a genetic disorder, obviously, but he was giggling then. I hope people heard you then. Look at his little face.
It was a joy.
I love the things that make him happy.
But I love the fact just before the microphone came up and just before the record finished, he had his headphones on, the music was too loud and he was just shouting, Bauhaus, it's not working! Bauhaus, it's not working! I have to play something else!
I went and found Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus and he said, why isn't it working? Look at him giggling, look, he's lost it! Is he going away? Are you on drugs, Karl? What have you done? He's tickled, look at his little, he looks like one of those shaved monkeys. Look at his little, oh my god, I've never seen a forehead glow.
I know, it's extraordinary.
Oh.
And he's got that red shirt on as well, so the whole of him is just a big glowing...
Karl, what are you trying? What are you putting in?
I'm gonna see if I can get this to work.
Go on then.
Hang on.
Brilliant radio. I hope Dr. Fox is listening, because I think he's eating his words right now, Steve.
Right, I think I've done it. Right.
Well done. That's excellent.
Right, what
Let's play Bauhaus now, and let's try and compose ourselves. This is Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus. Well, it worked. That worked, didn't it? See, panic over. Calm now. You're on holiday soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got to go off early.
Well, about...
How many holidays have you had? Because I only ever have time off when I'm working, like doing another job, like, you know, filming or something. But you seem to have a lot of holidays, just like... And you were sick as well. You were just like... Because you had wet trousers, which is a little bit... Do you not care about the job? I mean, I've got to ask, because... You know what I mean? If I was in charge, I'd worry about your motivation or... Because yesterday we were trying to work out what you enjoyed doing, and we got to Manchester United and moaning, and that is the two we came up with.
I don't know where you get the moaning thing
You're
from.
always whinging.
About what?
Everything.
When did I last have a moan?
Just before we came on air.
Right, and why was that?
I don't know, I can't remember. Because we were in good mood. We were in a good mood, me and Rick.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because you brought a song in at 10 to 1.
Yeah.
With a load of effing and jeffing in it.
Yeah.
And saying, can you edit this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's your job.
You could have brought it in yesterday.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I hadn't thought of it. But why are you whinging? That's your job. And I didn't come in 10 minutes before. It was a good 20 minutes before. It just took you ages because you were whinging and moaning to even get started.
I'm not being dragged into this.
You are always...
I'm on my holiday now.
Well, not yet. No, you're not on yet. You're still working.
Well, that's what's funny. This isn't even work, right? And yet it should be. Compared to what I do in the week, this is a doddle.
Well, that's because you're not putting any effort in, clearly. Where are you going anyway? Where are you heading?
Cornwall.
Yeah? What's happening down there?
Well, there's a monkey world.
You're excited about that?
We're going to go and see that. Probably go twice to that.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm down there.
How long are you in for? The whole week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This is with your parents, isn't it?
Yeah. Taking them out.
Your father, what do you think your father will be up to? What's he going to be nicking on this holiday?
Well,
There's a lot of tin in Cornwall. Since they've shut the mines.
He's just called Suzanne, said they've got there, said it's a nice little place.
Mm-hmm. There'll be no towels when you get there.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just gonna chill out and sort of like go to the pub and stuff?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, all I've got planned is probably probably Tuesday and Thursday at Monkey World.
What about Wednesday? What are you thinking of Wednesday? Just wandering around?
Just sort of think about, you know...
King Arthur and that. Where he was down there, wasn't he?
I don't know, but I'll tell
Where
you
you going?
something.
What town?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Suzanne sorted it out.
Yeah, she sorted it out. I had you on the phone to her saying, well, pack 'em, pack 2 pairs. Poor woman, she's packing your bags for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
you'd spend more time at home if Steve didn't come in at 10-2 with a rap record with, like, obscenities all over it.
Yeah, well, we'll play that next week.
Well, you didn't even get the job done, that's the thing. We can't even play it because you didn't get finishing time.
I'll tell you what, that Method Man, if he doesn't stop effing and jeffing, it's the end of his career. In my opinion. All this F that and yo Jeff, I'm a Jeff myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging out with my Jeffs.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Jeff,
and we know you can't put out the J word. on XFM.
Oh, Mother Jeffer.
Well, so we haven't got that, but what we have got,
Go on.
Monkey News.
We've still got a monkey news, have we?
That's sorted out. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Yeah. Well, last chance. Definitely your last chance this time. You actually improved a little bit last week. You did a couple of good ones.
Yeah. Same again this week. And
Cheeky Freak?
The controversial cheeky freak of the week, where Karl finds a human being with some sort of congenital or imposed deformity, or So and we talk about that in a wry way. Do you think that's big and clever?
no, but that's just it. It's never about taking the mickey out of someone, right? It's to make you think.
I'll tell you what isn't big and clever.
How lucky you are
A
on
dwarf with learning difficulties.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
We'll explain it to you. That's the forthcoming single from British Sea Power. That's called Carrion.
That's nice and retro. That's
Yeah.
like end of the 70s Bowie. That's
That's good.
great. On XFM 104.9. That's just some of the records.
That we've played so far.
Do you know what I mean? You've had The Darkness, you've had Bauhaus. It's like, can it get any better, Karl, do you think?
like I say, we've got Monkey News coming up. So,
Guess what? I lost 400 quid cash this week.
Gambling?
No, that's tragic. This is why it gutted me.
It wasn't even on your gambling addiction.
No, I had a photo shoot, I had a suit, right, and I'd claimed back some expenses, and I'd had it in my pocket, and then when I took the suit home, it must have fallen out in the street or the cab, and I remembered it, and I went every pocket twice, and it was just the fact, I don't think about, oh god, that's terrible, that's a terrible blow, I think, oh god, if I had it back now, it would be free money.
Yeah.
If I suddenly found it now, I'd have £400 that was just free money, and I had a little nap to get over it, and I was,
And you were fine.
I was okay. But that's got someone
£400
just found what a gift that is.
Oh.
Just, I mean, untraceable.
Was it in a
is-
money clip? Was it rolled up in a money clip?
No, it was just literally 400 quid in an envelope. And
that's
so
a
that,
treat.
I know. See, I'd always hand it in. I genuinely would, unless I found it in the middle of a forest or something. If it was in the street. Do you know what I mean? No,
Because a bear dropped it.
yeah. But I mean, if I found it in a pub or a cab, I'd just hand
or
it
an
to
escape that
anyone
you
who
were
was in.
rummaging through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'd hand it in.
Well,
But there's no way. If they found it in the street, there's no way they could do it. It goes to the police station and it sits there for 6 months. But
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not, it's a waste of time, pocket it. But, because when I was younger, I remember being outside a post office once when I was about 10 or 12, and finding a purse, and thinking, oh, that's nice. And opening it up, there was some money in there, and a pension book, and so it was obviously an old lady. I found an address, I sent it to her, and my mum said, you've been so good there, you'll probably get a little reward. She'll probably send you a little reward. Nothing! I got maybe a thank you note, but no cash, no moolah, nothing.
Really?
And I was livid, because I'd been told that I was going to get a reward. I thought I've been a good Samaritan, nothing. So, many moons later, when I was at university, I learnt from that, and this is the most bizarre thing.
this explains a lot, doesn't it, Karl?
This is like the Mary Celeste. I went to a cash point to I thought, I can't get my card in here. And I realised there was already somebody's card in the machine. They'd put the code in, but then they just disappeared. They'd been kidnapped or something. So it was just there, waiting, sitting, said, what do you want to do? And it gave you a number of options. I thought, interesting.
Steal or go to heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
He went, oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I pressed balance, just to check what their bank balance was.
Unbelievable.
It was a considerable sum of money. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not typical student debt. It was like, I think they were a foreign student. There was a lot of cash in there. A lot of money.
Did you feel a slight bulge in your trousers when you saw the amount of money?
I couldn't believe my luck. I thought to myself, now then, I could just take that card out and hand it in, or I could teach them a small lesson
Right.
and maybe give myself a reward, because last time I did that, I didn't
Yeah.
get a reward. So if I give myself £30, then I'll take the card out.
30?
Give myself 30.
You didn't really?
Well, I thought that's a good reward, and I went in, I handed the card in, I took that,
Steve,
and that's a
that's-
little reward for me. And I'll tell you this, don't think it's evil, because I went in and I bought everyone a drink.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't tell them I got the money free.
Well done. Excellent. So probably gangsters are quite generous with the
Well-
money they've stolen from other people.
Yes, but someone's negligence, Rick, has lent. Well, the thing is this, right?
Steve, I believe it, except that buying people a drink, Karl. What do you think?
well, I kind of thought that when he said it, but then I thought, but they'll be buying him back.
So he's still
for that, so in a way, he's still a winner.
Yeah. Everyone's a winner. in that situation, including the student, because frankly, if there had been a less scrupulous person who found it, they'd have probably helped themselves to a considerable sum.
I cannot believe he did that.
There was thousands and thousands of pounds in there.
What if it was? What if Beadle had jumped out and slapped you with his little claw and said, "We've been filming this, merchant"?
Well, what? So what?
How old were you then?
I don't know, 19, 20?
Would you do it again, or was it just to get the world back for the old lady's purse?
Possibly do it again, yeah.
You're joking!
Well, you've got to think of it this way. You've got to think of it as there was a lot of money in there, and someone less scrupulous than me would have taken a fortune. They'd have cleaned them out. Whereas I just took a small reward, which I thought was more than enough for someone's negligence. And I've returned the card. They've got the card back. Everything's fine. Think of someone else. I could have gone on a spending spree. I could have been buying stuff, all sorts.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours at all.
Yes, but they probably would have given me a reward. And because, you know, sometimes people forget, or, you know, they don't give you a reward, I thought I should
You had
take
to
it
go
myself.
at your dad from nicking a loaf of bread out of a phone box.
Yeah, but that's because it's for old people, geriatrics and stuff.
How do you know how old was your people who you were robbing from?
It was on a student campus.
Wow.
I think it was more. I thought it was excellent behaviour. I thought it was
that's
good, honourable
incredible.
behaviour.
That's showing another side to him, isn't it?
Now, Karl, I know you're fascinated by the concept of the doppelganger, of seeing someone who looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
Jake has emailed in. He says, Karl, if you could spend a day with an exact replica of you, okay, so somehow they've cloned you, Karl, and you've got him for one day, what would you do with this? What would you make him do? What conversation would you have with him? What would you do? Is there anything you could, you know, how would you utilise him for one day?
Well, they'd both say, "I'm not bothered," and that'd be the end of conversation.
Yeah.
What would do me head in is, does he think the same way, look the same way,
Exactly
dress
the same.
Yeah.
How would I know which one I was?
Because you'd be you.
That's amazing.
No, no,
How would I know which
That's
one I was?
incredible.
No, because-
that is the most stupid thing ever said by a human being. Can we get the Guinness Book of Records on this? Has anyone anywhere in the world said anything more stupid than "How would I know which one was me"?
But think about it, this other person's going, alright, thanks for meeting up and that. And I go, hang on a minute. No, you came to me. And then Suzanne would come home and she wouldn't know the difference. And then suddenly you'd start doubting yourself. And you go, should I be leaving? Or, so how do I know if I am that real one, if he knows what I know?
But you know who you are because you're experiencing
But he'd
it.
be saying that because he'd say, yeah, it is a bit weird.
But
isn't it,
you know
Owen,
the truth, you idiot.
because
How
you
would I
wouldn't-
know which one I was?
So anyway,
But bear in mind,
What would you do?
You could pass him off as yourself.
What would you do? Would you play tricks? Would you, you know?
You could be in two places at once.
Would you do stings? Would you do scams?
no, because it would only end up getting me into trouble, won't it? Because people won't believe that there's another one like me. Otherwise, everyone would be saying that when they get caught robbing. They go, oh, it wasn't me, it was my doppelganger. It can only... I wouldn't want it, to be honest. Again, it's a bit of a headache, isn't it? Because he could be going off, going mental, causing all sorts of trouble, and you're going, will you pack it in? And he's going, what? What are you on about? But then that wouldn't happen, would it? Because he's being me, so he'd be sat wherever I am anyway. Because he'd want to do what I want to do. So, pointless. But I still wouldn't want it.
It's unbelievable.
That was a conversation with himself.
That was amazing.
That was like experiencing what it would have been like if there was two Karls.
Yeah,
He's having a discussion with himself.
We could have left in that time and come back, and he'd be arguing still.
What does this mean? Does this mean though that I could just sit at home and not do anything and just send me out on...
Yes.
And when he's seen something happen, I'm seeing it.
No.
You're separate people.
You're separate people.
But then he's not a doppelganger then,
Well,
is he?
you're identical twins then. You found out identical twins and he's got exactly the same input as you. I mean, it's not a real question, is it? It's just a little... Again...
But I said to you the other week about twins and that, how I wouldn't like to have a twin. It's alright when you're a kid, but unless you're a Siamese twin, even they don't even look alike, do they? They're just stuck together. You don't go, oh, don't they look like each other? They have different haircuts. They don't carry that thing on, do they? Like normal twins do. Like normal twins, the mums say have the same haircut, wear the same shirt. Siamese twins never look the same. They've just got their arse stuck together.
Again, it's a dialogue in his own head. It's unbelievable. Okay, Karl. This is a logical conundrum. To a certain extent, there's a little bit of lateral thinking because, but there is only one right answer. Now, the pressure here isn't to get this right. The pressure is when I've told you the answer to then understand it. Because when I've explained this to people, I've laid out for them, they still can't quite get the concept. Okay, so, there's 2 doors, Karl.
Yeah.
One leads to heaven, one leads to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, they're identical, you can't tell them apart. Okay, 50-50.
Right.
Obviously you want to go to heaven, I assume. Right, there's 2 guards, identical guards, guarding each door. Okay?
Right.
The one guarding hell always tells a lie. The one guarding heaven always tells the truth. You have to ask one question to find out which is which, and then go through the door you want. What question do you ask?
I've only got one.
Yeah.
And what, one to both?
No, one to either of them. You don't know which one's which, though. So what question do you ask?
Why can't I ask, like, both of them one?
Because it's
Because
not the rules.
are you can only ask one. There aren't actually 2 doors labelled heaven and hell, Karl. This is a leap of imagination here.
And I've definitely got to answer. I've got to ask them a question. I can't just sort of have a feel of the door to see if there's any heat or anything.
They're identical. You stand a few yards away. You cannot tell from the outside of these doors which is which. What question do you ask?
I can't look through the keyhole or anything.
There's no
Can't get anywhere
keyhole.
near them. Let's imagine there's a small rope that prevents you from getting anywhere near, rather like outside a nightclub.
Yeah.
So they stood there.
Yeah.
They both look the same. They're both smiling,
Yeah.
but one of them's not really smiling. Really, he's trying to make me make a mistake, isn't he?
Well, he's just going to lie when you ask him a question. If you ask him.
So what's the point in asking a question? Do I know one of them's going to lie?
Yeah.
But would they be neighbours like this? Would they be that close? Why?
I mean, we're not sure if these 2 guys get on.
Because it's a logical. Well, I'll tell you the answer.
No, I want to see if he can get it. He's almost there. No, he's not almost there. What am I thinking?
So-
No, hang on. Right, so you go up and you
Yeah.
go. You
Right,
go,
hang on. Well, look, let's imagine that. Let's imagine Ricky and I are those 2 guys. Okay, right?
But we have to. Well, me and Steve will decide which doors we're guarding. Okay.
Right.
I'm.
Look away, Karl.
Okay.
Right,
then.
so we've decided. Okay, one of us is guarding hell and one of us is guarding heaven. Which question are you going to ask and who are you going to ask it to?
Right. I'll just say to you, Steve. I'll go. Got some post for God here.
That's not a question. That's a statement.
Right, you've got some posts for God here.
Well, that's not a question.
Yeah, but maybe the
Alright.
question's coming. You got some posts for God here, yeah.
And it needs to be signed.
It's not a question. Still not a question.
No, let
So
him finish. Maybe
is God in? Because I need him to sign for this post. Is he in?
Well, I can answer that as well if you want.
Go on.
He's in. He's behind my door. Do you want to answer it?
Well,
Yes,
Do you,
he's
want,
in.
do you want to get him? Just
Well, no, you've only got one question.
So you're asking Steve, is God in? What's the answer?
Yes.
Ask me. Yes.
look, lads. I'm just trying to do a job here. What am I going to do with this?
Well, give it to me and I'll give it to God because he's behind my door. Steve?
Yeah, give it to me and I'll take it into God because he's behind my door.
You're an idiot. Let me tell you the answer. I'm guarding hell, by the way. I'm the devil. Steve's God, okay? So you asked me what Steve would say if you asked him what door he was guarding, and I'm going to lie. I know he'd say heaven because he'd tell the truth, but I'm lying, so he'd say hell. So the question is, if I was to ask the other one what door he was guarding, what would he say? And whatever the person answers is the door they're guarding.
Steve, what door are you looking after?
Well,
Heaven.
yeah.
Why should I believe you?
Because you don't know. No, that doesn't work. Because you asked me the same and I'd say heaven as well.
Right, so who do I believe? This is where you use your gut feeling, though, isn't it? This is what life's...
Well, as opposed to the pure logic that Ricky's just used.
I just think, because there's a lot of questions in life where you don't know the answer and you go, do you know what? I don't like the look of him. So...
They're identical.
Yeah, but they're still identical twins. You always get a little snidey one.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is raining down.
That's the jingle there for Karl's diary. Here we are. Spoke to Ricky and his friend Glyn about art. I just don't get it. Ricky had some odd pictures on his walls. I don't have any pictures up in my flat because of the mirrored wall. But I can't say I'm bothered. The mirrored wall, we should just explain what that is. When you moved into your flat, there was an enormous mirror on one wall. Was that right? We
just got this flat, and it's not a big flat, so I think the people who had it before us, he was a gay fella, right, which was a bit like, oh, so you've been doing with that mirror and that. But that was...
What?
No, just,
What? What has he been doing with the mirror?
Well,
What's he been doing? Why?
No, it's just because they're quite sort of experimental in it, aren't they? And
I don't know, what do you mean? What do they do?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about it, but go on.
No, what do you want? What?
No, I don't.
Experimental in what way?
What do you mean experimental?
I just mean, they'd be doing stuff.
What?
Whatever they do.
Chemistry, they have a chemistry set out, they'd be doing experiments. What?
No, just doing what...
Singing I Am What I Am and just checking out the
each
dance moves.
I'm not having a go at anyone, but
What?
I'm just saying, like, they're doing what they're doing, which
Carl, you're not
is annoying as well.
homophobic, are you?
Because,
You're not
no, I'm not. This is why...
Why are you worried about what a little gay fella was doing in your flat before you got it in front of a mirror?
I wasn't worried about it.
Why are you thinking about what he was doing? Why are you fantasising what a little gay fella was doing in front of your mirror in your...
I'm not bothered. I'm just telling you why it was a bit odd that he had a mirror in there, right? But forget the history.
But you've got a mirror in there now, haven't you?
No, because what I did was... I was going to take it down. And I thought, it's a bit dangerous. This, it could crack and...
Because it's the size of the whole wall, isn't it?
It took up a whole wall. Right? So, like, when he's moving about everywhere, he's got a good view of it and that. But... he's got this full wall of mirror, and I thought, I can't take that down. And I thought, what can I do? So I've just put wallpaper on it.
Brilliant.
And it looks all right. You wouldn't know, what have you? But it means that I can't put any pictures up. That's all I'm saying. Because I've put a nail in.
And what don't you understand about art? What about art don't you understand? The concept, specifics.
No, that's like when we were in London having a shop around at Christmas, and there was that picture of fruit for 700 quid. It's like, well, just get some fruit. You know what I mean? You can get some real fruit for 3 quid.
Yeah.
I understand that, but don't invent cameras then. One or the other. Do you know what I mean? That's what annoys me. Someone invents something, and then they go, we've got to invent something else.
So I wanted to ask you something. But again, we've got to be careful here. You know when you wouldn't leave the building that was on fire because you were standing proud.
Hang on, we need this. Some people don't know what you're talking about. Carl, you're on holiday.
Yeah.
On holiday in Tenerife, right?
Yeah.
You'd had a moment of intimacy with your girlfriend.
Yeah. A knock on the door. You had to stop and get up. And you peeked around the door. It was a fireman saying, "Get out," but you didn't want to leave because you had a. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little. Yeah. But what I don't understand is you maintained that while looking at a Spanish man dressed as a fireman.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that the fact? You maintained. I'm sorry to say you maintained arousal whilst looking at a gentleman dressed as a fireman. No. Is that these are the facts? And they are undisputed. What did you maintain?
I'm not a machine though. Do you know what I mean? I can't turn it on, turn it off. Right?
But you were talking. I just thought you were talking to a fireman. You'd have probably lost it. I don't know, but you didn't.
No, but the other thing was, I mean, I was talking to Suzanne about it again, right?
Yeah.
She, what are you talking about that for? Right? I said, it just cropped up, right?
Yeah.
And the dilemma was, you see, I wanted to try and make sure that it was a proper fire because that was the last condom we had, right? So it would have ruined the night. So I didn't want to it was like, well, what's going on? Is it? Do we need to get out?
Yeah.
Is it a proper fire?
Yeah. And you and talking to this man in uniform, was he? What did he look like? Was he good looking?
Did he look like Ricky Martin? Say.
Was he good looking? Was he good looking in his uniform?
I can't remember. Can't remember.
Did he have a moustache?
Better play a record, didn't we? Is this bringing it back?
What?
You look uncomfortable. What?
Did you just switch this on with your hands? Flaming Lips, and that's Fight Test.
Lips and test.
Lips Test.
On M.
We were talking there about homosexual people, and I'm sure we'll move on to other topics. But I just mentioned, I was talking to a friend of mine in the week, Rufus, and he overheard, he pieced together sometimes if you overhear a conversation, you can piece together what's going on.
Yeah.
And it sort of transpired from what he could make out that one gay guy had just realised or just found out that his gay boyfriend had maybe been having an affair and was on the phone and had called this person, the third party.
The other one was crying, wasn't
The
it?
other one was crying in tears. Obviously, they just had a big argument about it. And all he heard on the phone was the guy saying, in very kind of earnest tones, "I'm gonna do everything in my power to destroy you." Well, I just like to think what that was. What was he, you know?
No more guest list to GAY.
GAY. I am going to, slash your diesel jeans with a pair of scissors.
Oh. What if they're listening now?
I know, I mean, it's probably an emotional time for them.
Yeah, but they probably don't think we're talking about them.
No, not those.
It's probably happened quite a lot this week.
Well, possibly.
I do know quite a lot of gay people, right? But they do jump about when it comes to partners.
Right. Karl.
No, Lee. Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Let the man speak.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it's quite, you know, they don't, you know, if they get bored, they move on that. Which is fair enough, but they do,
How have we pieced this together?
And they go out late, don't they?
well, we've covered that, haven't we? We've done that.
Yeah.
How have you, so you...
Do you know how we covered that? His favourite record is Killing a Georgie. And he went, at the end of the record, he went, see, but how late was it?
Yeah.
If he'd have been sort of going out at a decent time, that wouldn't have happened.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean, Steve, though?
Yeah.
They're always getting ready to go out about 1:30 in the morning. You're asking for trouble.
Yes. Incidentally, I should just point out that,
Oh dear.
that, we've had an email, I've lost it here now, but anyway, it was one of our listeners saying that we've slightly embarrassed ourselves because, of course, Bruce Springsteen on the cover of Born in the USA doesn't actually have a handkerchief in his back pocket, it's actually a red baseball cap. So, well, I don't know if that also counts, I don't know if it's any
What does
kind
that
of
mean,
object.
though?
Yeah, into heads. Into little round heads. Oh. If Bruce Springsteen, and he's obviously not gay, but if he said, alright Karl, just, you know, little cuddle, would you turn down Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
Well, no, but why? Just like, alright mate, you know, you hug your mates, don't you? If Bruce said, alright, Karl, I like your show, love your head, little cuddle, a mate's cuddle.
No, I just, I'd say what you're doing.
He'd just say, look,
We're a couple of old friends.
look, Bruce Springsteen, I've those great songs, I like what you're doing, let's cuddle, let's have a little, alright
The
mate.
annoying thing is, right, Steve, right, do you know how he likes to squeeze me head? How
Yeah.
Mickey likes to squeeze me head?
Yeah.
He had an old mate over this week. He's got a similar shaped head, apparently, as mine.
Yeah.
Right? He's hardly gave me a call or anything, because he was busy with this other fella's head.
Oh, you feel quite bad about that.
Well,
This is a better head to squeeze, I'll tell you why, because he shaves his every day, right? He's got the same sort of hair problem with him, shaves every day,
a
right?
problem.
No, I know, and it's because he's had it several times, like, Karl's is sort of comes through a bit long at the side sometimes, it looks a bit unkempt towards the end of the week. I've seen there's a couple of little pimples under there. Right, I really have to do it, just like, get there, slap my hands on it, squeeze it. With this one, I can sort of get my do you know what I mean? I get my, really, you know.
You're like a gay, the way you jump about from head to head.
That's my record, you like a
saying.
gay.
Just saying. Right, still coming up then.
What have we got coming up?
We got Rockbusters.
Oh, has any monkey news this week?
It's been a problem.
Why?
It's not much has been going on this week.
What, in the monkey world?
In the monkey world. I don't know if they've caught on to the fact that they're getting coverage.
They're keeping their behaviour hush hush.
Being a bit careful, but I found something.
Have you got Rockbusters? It's your last chance, don't forget. Is it good, these?
Got Rockbusters, got some good prizes. Steve will look at them in a bit.
Yeah.
Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Have you got a cheeky figure of the week?
Got that. Got
Yeah.
that.
So what deformity is it this week that you're ridiculing?
Well, keep listening.
Out of Time by Blur on XFM 104.9. Alright, Karl, what are you thinking?
Just thinking that stuff.
You're an enigma, aren't you?
I would just say hello to, we've got an American listener apparently, Karen. Anyway, well, it's a shot. I thought that might fill up 4 seconds.
We're not struggling, are we?
No,
I
no,
mean,
no, no.
we
Well, just consult the list of
Hold on,
Dr.
let me have a look.
Fox-esque amusing
Wife,
topics.
Wet Ones, Screwball, Shop Train, Cheeky Freak, Ronan. What's
What
that?
was Ronan?
Ronan. I just was telling you the other day about, you know, that song that he does. Loving every day as if it's your last one.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking he's saying that as if like, oh, I'll have a good day. But I reckon if you knew it was your last day, I don't think you'd be in the mood to do anything.
Yeah,
But what-
that's true.
But well, yeah.
I think the point is that it's living every day like it should last. So, God, imagine if it was every day like it lasts. Right, let's go mental. And the good thing is, we've got tomorrow. So he's got the best of both worlds. That's what Ronan's saying. He's saying cram it in, because it might be the last. I think it's more like, it's the not knowing, isn't it? Live every day. See, I'd actually be happy if I never knew when I was going to die, and I was definitely going to die in my sleep. What a brilliant life you'd have. Do you know what I mean?
What, so you don't get an illness, but one night you go to bed and...
I know that if you knew you were going to die in your sleep and never knew when you were going to die, it wouldn't matter if it was tomorrow or 30 years' time. It wouldn't matter, would it?
Yeah.
I've lost you, haven't I? I've lost you somewhere. I thought that was pretty easy, all that. I said die in your sleep and not know when you died. There was no high concept there. No sleight of hand linguistically. Where did I lose you?
I think you lost him on sleight of hand linguistically. Just then. You've lost him again.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'd want to go. I don't want to know about it. That's why I don't go to the doctors or anything.
That's a good,
Brilliant
good approach.
And do you remember him saying he's going to die of cancer because he doesn't check his balls. He doesn't like the feel.
Of course, of course.
What do they feel like, your balls?
Like a wet chamois leather.
With two marbles, two kumquats in a wet chamois leather.
No, but I just...
Why are they wet? Sweaty.
No, they're not. I'm just saying smooth.
Are they smooth?
Yeah, because a chamois leather's smoother when it's...
Do you shave them?
No, I don't.
In case a fireman pops round, you want to look your best. It looks like your head. You know, the fireman pops round, there you are, and he goes, oh, nice, smooth.
So you never go to the doctors? What even?
I don't like it.
But if you found some buboes under your arm or something, you...
I'd wait for a bit, and I'd say to Suzanne, what do you think of this?
Just see if it develops into plague.
Well, yeah, because you know, don't you? You know
Old bandages round your head.
Yeah.
And a bell.
Yeah.
Suzanne, wait, how can you get me a bell?
Exactly.
Brilliant.
I'm guessing you'll be popping in with another hip hop track full of effing and jeffing.
Well,
again,
no, I won't bring it into you. I'll do it myself at home. Because obviously that makes it easier. Obviously
dear.
you can't cope.
Oh, dear.
Are you actually going to be here next week, or are you still going to be in Cornwall?
No, you see there again. I'll be back. I'll be back in time. And in the week when I go to Cornwall, see the Monkey World.
Yeah, you're 2 days past the Monkey World.
That still work.
Yeah.
Still work? What?
What, you're going to interview some of the monkeys?
I
Get some
love
stories?
that. I love that. You were going, could a monkey live without bones? And so I'm going, Carl, shut the please, just look at the monkeys and eat your ice cream. And that's work, is it?
Right.
Right, are we having Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Do you want to do it?
What time have you got to shoot off?
Could do with shooting off sort of soonish,
Okay.
to be honest.
This is not radio. Have you ever heard that on a radio show? Chris Tarrant going, I can't shoot off right now. I couldn't get a later train.
I know! Why did you get a later train? There isn't a later train. So I couldn't get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well that's the point, isn't it? Yeah, you're not falling through.
Whatever. I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now.
Oh, cheeky Freak of the Week.
Right, well, we've had some interesting things we've been looking at. This week, it's about the strangest couple that ever got married. And
we've had 2 sets of chimps, so it's stranger than that. Oh, it's not Dale Winton and Nell McAndrew, is it?
It's not your parents, is it?
Well, we're going back again to I think this is about 19...
Something like that.
1940.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Strangest couple, a fella, right? He had skin of a lizard.
He had the skin of a lizard, okay.
And the woman who he
which
married...
he used as a condom.
The woman who he married.
Yeah.
Airiest woman ever.
Right.
And that was their act. They used to tour the world, and they'd say, it's like, couple who've met, they're having a great life. Let's get them out on stage, here they are. And they'd
what do you mean he had a skin of a lizard, first of all?
That's what it said. He had some sort of some illness.
So he was called Lizard Man, and you like that because it was good description.
I thought that's good.
I'm
Let
here,
me know.
I'm here. Hello, we've booked a table for 2. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting Lizard Man. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah.
You know he is, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Look
meeting
out.
the hairiest woman in the world. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they do for their act?
Now, bear in mind that we had some Siamese twins last week, and their act was having a bath.
yeah.
So I hope it's an improvement on that.
What did Lizard Man? He came out and ate some flies, did he?
I don't really know. I just think they stood there and that.
Yeah, when you read this and it goes the most interesting fact ever, Lizard Man, and you go, that's enough. That's enough. I can extrapolate from that.
But straight away I start thinking. I'm thinking, right. I wonder if they got the wedding photos. Right? And then, like it said that they had a kid.
Oh, what would that be like? Half
Exactly,
lizard, half
exactly, that's
it'd be
what I
like
was
an
thinking.
ostrich, wouldn't it? It would sort of like.
That's what I was thinking.
What did you think it would come out like, the baby?
I didn't think what that looked like. I just was thinking, oh, parents' evening. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't want them coming up to the school, would you?
So,
Well, that's
so
the
little
problem.
Johnny, who starts off relatively normal, he's quite good at, he's good at nature,
Yeah.
isn't he? And his mum and dad come into the room and they'd be looking round, wouldn't they?
Well, it's always like that thing at school when, like, you find out your mate's mum and dad are really old.
Right,
Have you
sure.
ever seen that?
Yeah.
When you go, have your gran and granddad bought you?
Yeah.
Your mum and dad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
It is weird.
What's that we're talking about? He calls him mum. What was that? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
no,
like-
that's always strange.
I
If
just,
you had Godzilla and King Kong as your parents,
Yeah.
and it was
they're
like you
always
say-
fighting.
They're always fighting, and like you say, you're in a school play or something. You wouldn't tell them, would you? You wouldn't want them coming up with a video camera.
He didn't tell his parents he was in the. When we were,
Well, exactly.
You did Little Donkey. You didn't tell your dad, did you? And he came along and videoed it.
yeah.
Was
kept
that?
it quiet, kept it quiet, don't want them to know anything.
But you didn't. What was it? It was meant to be playing. You had a little drum, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing, I had a little drum. I think I was meant to be playing We Three Kings.
Yeah.
But he started doing Little Donkey, and I thought I can add a touch to this.
Sure, you improvise.
Started playing along.
It was like the
with
first
Yeah.
remix, wasn't it?
It went down well. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are that they don't have to.
Comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are.
Just
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
pop in, give us a call. That's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, like, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping, we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy a comb. or
Park
whatever.
right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Carl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Carl.
Brilliant. What are you playing? You can play a song?
Kirsty McCall.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Cheers. Kirsty McCall, New England. Karl Pilkington has left the building. He's rushed away. He's on his way down to Cornwall. And we're left by ourselves.
Indeed.
In the room. See, if we can do this...
If we can press all the buttons and not make any mistakes, strictly speaking, there's no need for Karl.
I don't mind if we make mistakes.
Well, no,
We
exactly.
never were in the old days, did
No,
we?
sure.
I think Karl is going to love Cornwall. Because I think, one, the mayor is probably an animal.
Yes.
And I imagine the townsfolk think like Karl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
imagine he'll stay there. He'll be made king.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? In Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks, the little furry creatures, they see C-3PO, and because he can talk and he can speak their language, they actually elevate him
Oh, he's
to godlike
popped back.
status.
What are you doing here?
Hooray!
He's back. Oh,
What are you doing?
You could have stayed till the end.
What are you
Right,
doing?
what are you doing?
Right.
Right, well, there he is. He's on his way
Yeah,
down to
if
Cornwall.
you're listening online in Cornwall, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But you know,
on a clothesline with a bean tin at one
Exactly.
end and
Yeah.
a big bean tin in London.
Or if
I'm cool in London.
yeah, or if the foil helmet you wear to fend off laser rays from aliens out of space are somehow picking up the show, then Carl's on his way. Look forward to him. He's the
He'd
bold
fit in
one.
because he's got a sort of like, you know, the obligatory sort of red face that would go well down there now. Because I think he's been out in the sun, or he was, you know, pre-boiled when he came in. But he's rushing down to Cornwall now, going from Paddington Station. So, you know,
If you're in the Paddington Station area, you want to pop down there and sort of wave him off, then do.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
that's not a dirty sexual act.
Wave him off.
Yeah, I'd love to wave him off. And call in the week as well, carl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk. Send him anything. Just clog up his email.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets stressed at work. So if you can send him 3 or 4 emails each
Yeah.
over the next week, so he's got to read them all. But disguise them, don't make them look rubbish, so at least he's got to sort of open them and look at them. Or, you know, some of them might be correspondence, so he will, you know, just phone his line as well, just ask for XFM, ask Karl, and leave long messages on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So, if you can, just for us, just for me and Steve, remember, it is mine and Steve's show. Karl is merely like, you know, the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If Karl can come back, maybe next Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever he comes back, to about 250 emails and 200 voicemail messages.
If you put down, when it says what's the name of the message, the title of the message, if you put monkey news or monkey information, he'll have to open it then because he'll be intrigued, even if
Yeah.
it's not about monkeys.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Voicemail messages. Leave them long. I like this information. Disguise it, so it might be important.
Yeah.
Just so he has to listen through. I wish I'd give his own mobile out, but, you know, that is just too cruel. But anyone can get him at XFM, and of course, we've given out his email before, so, I mean, go mental.
There are plenty of ways to torture Karl Pilkington. I mean, we're doing all we can on a Saturday.
But we're only 2 people.
But we're only 2 men.
You know what I mean?
So,
so listen, go berserk. We'll be back next Saturday, and we'll leave with song for the lovers, song for the ladies, whatever. It's a beautiful track.
A song for the sunshine.
Song for the Sunshine. It's Lily White by Cat Stevens, and we've done it. We don't need Karl.
Definitely not. See you next week, Rick.
Bye. Now, everyone knows over the past sort of like few years, my big pet project, it hasn't been my own career, it's been get Karl famous.
Yeah.
I want people to recognise him in the street, come up to him and say, "You bald-headed mank twat."
Well, let me tell you now, Rick, I've
on.
been out and about, and a lot of people have come up to me and said, has Karl Pilkington got a head like a fucking orange?
Well,
and
I've
I've
been-
had to instantly confirm the answer to be yes.
But he's had a call. He had a call recently from a film company asking him if he's got any ideas for movies. Now, how desperate, in what dire straits must the British film industry be that they're going, "We need Karl Pilkington. We have hit rock bottom," and he went along for an interview.
So what, and you went in and you...
I went along and had a meeting, and they just said, right, you know, got any ideas? And sort of said, you know, what you thinking? What sort of thing are you after? You after action, thriller, whatever?
Because you can provide any of that.
I love that he's playing it cool, like you've come to the right person.
yeah,
My
yeah.
time's precious, what do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Karl Pilkington, the movie doctor, what do you need, Papa?
So thought of this idea sort of on the spot.
Good.
That whiz
planning.
by 'em. No, but sometimes that's how good ideas come up, don't
Yeah.
they? Just
So
random.
a lot of yours have come up, yeah.
No, but if you just
Randomly.
talk, I find that your mouth comes out with stuff.
Right, there's another
Right,
quote.
right.
There is another quote.
If you talk, your mouth comes out with stuff.
That to me stands along with what were those things in Gremlins called?
No, but what I mean, if you sit there and try and use your brain to do it,
Right.
it doesn't work the same. Just keep talking. Just keep your mouth talking, and eventually it will come out with something pretty good.
That is exactly what Plato said.
So
So
anyway,
Aristotle, he said, "Sit down. I've got an idea for you." Aristotle said, "Plato, how do I go?" Right, just keep talking, and eventually your brain will come out with stuff.
so what I thought, I just started off by saying like actors' names and that who I thought should be in it, because then that's giving more. It's building.
Right,
Okay,
so
who's
who did
that?
you say?
Who
Who did you say?
So I said, right, I'm seeing Clive Warren,
That's Clive Warren.
Who's Clive Warren?
the one who was in Closer.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen.
Right, all right.
Did they look at you
I
like
think I
you're a
said
fucking
Clive.
idiot?
So they all started trying to figure out, who's this Clive Warren we've not heard about? He must be amazing. He's on
Clive Warren. Get me Clive Warren on the phone.
Who's got
Get
Clive
me
Warren?
Clive Warren.
And I said Rebecca De Mornay, right?
Oh, where did that come
hasn't been in a film for 15 years, has she?
Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay. They thought he was a genius. They've never thought of putting Clive Warren with Rebecca De Mornay.
But hang on a minute, you could have any film star. This is your fantasy casting, and you choose a bloke that doesn't exist and a woman who hasn't been on TV or in a film for 10 years.
Oh God!
Why didn't you choose,
someone who existed,
J-Lo or someone who's a big star?
Oh God! Clive Warren! Oh God! Oh
So
God.
anyway, starts off, and the people, you're seeing into their lives from
Yeah.
like the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice sunny day.
Yeah.
Radio's on. They're going about the day. They're having the breakfast. They're saying, "Oh, what we're doing tonight?" And you're thinking, "Oh, they've got a nice life." She's like, "Love you" and all that. Yeah. He walks out the house, gets hit by a bus.
Oh,
So Clive Warren's dead.
I don't know if Clive Warren would take that part
because he ain't got much to do, has he?
No, I don't. If I know Clive Warren,
And I think you do.
I think I do. Carry on. So he's hit by a bus, so he's
So
dead.
he's hit by a bus and that. The titles come up.
Oh,
It's got
yeah.
you, right? She's
Starring
devastated. She's
Clive Warren.
fed up. She's devastated in that. Doctor says Clive's dead.
Who's playing the Doctor? Jack Nicholson House.
What's that fella who was in Independence Day?
Will Smythe.
No, the old black fella.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in. He's
Morgan
the
Freeman.
doctor.
Yeah.
He says, "Your husband's dead." She's like, "Oh God." What happens then is he says, "But listen, what we can do now, we can take the brain out."
Right.
Right.
And a fact that I'd read that day before the meeting. This isn't in the film now. This is me.
Right, but
Right.
luckily you
I read
the
a
fact.
thing about how the brain can run on half of it. You've actually got a full brain.
Some
Run
of
it on
us have.
half. So this was in my mind still.
Well, half your mind, yeah.
So I said, what happens is Morgan Freeman says, "Been working on this. You can run your life on half a brain."
Right.
She's sort of a bit like, "What you tell me this for now? My husband's just died like 20 minutes ago."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, but if we're going to do this, we've got to act quick." She's like, "Do what?" He says, whilst his brain's not fully dead, because it stays awake for a bit when you've
Oh,
been
he's
killed.
not dead then. Fine.
No, but
Wait.
he is. But they found out that
Right.
it stays awake a little bit.
No.
So-
that's
No, he's gone.
No,
You're
no.
hit by a bus.
Yeah, no, he's
You're
dead. If the brain's dead, you are dead.
Clive Warren's dead.
And if the brain's not dead, you're not dead.
No, but it's like people in a coma. They're dead, aren't they? But
No,
the brain's
no,
dead.
No, they're in a coma.
No, they're
in
dead.
a coma.
No, they come out of comas, don't
All right,
they?
then he's in a coma. He's been hit by the bus, but the chances are he's not going to come out of that coma. But his brain is still awake. So change that. That's easily done.
Hold on though. I like this fact that he's in a coma, so they're going, look, he's definitely going to die in this coma. Take the brain out now. Pop the brain out.
But why is that such a weird thing when that's what they do now? That's what they do now.
What is?
That's what they do.
What?
They do that.
What? A brain transplant?
No, but when, like, how I've signed that donor card,
Yeah.
like, if anything happens to me...
No.
they've
There's
got the
no
lot.
such thing as a brain donor. Oh, we've explained to you before.
Yeah, but they're working on it. They've said something about Einstein. They messed about with his brain for ages, trying to work out if it was full of stuff. That's what they're doing. They're working on that. There's loads of things that doctors are doing that we don't know about. I've seen some weird stuff on the internet.
Yeah, I know you have. Yeah.
I saw a programme on Channel 5 where a monkey brain was still alive and it was stuck on a stick. And they
You were
poked
watching
it.
the Magic Roundabout.
They poked it and it reacted.
Right.
So it's still alive. It's being kept alive, and it's only a matter of time. What's the brain linked up to? As long as you can link it up to the eyes, and somehow so it can tell the arms and legs what to do, you're laughing.
I love that. Imagine a team full of doctors going, well, we're going to try and do a brain transplant. Carl, as long as you can link this up to the eyes and tell the arms and legs what to do, we're laughing. Cheers, Carl. See you later.
Then what happens is they say, "Do you want half of his brain in your head?"
Half of his brain in her head.
She says, definitely not. I'm having you struck off. She starts screaming. She calls the police. He gets
Yeah,
arrested.
but you'd have said that years ago when people can have like someone else's arm put on their body and stuff.
Yeah, but he's only in a coma.
Yeah.
No, but he's not going to come out of that coma.
Right.
So it's like this or nothing. It's
Right.
like, look, you know what we're going to do here. We can either turn the switch off,
Yeah.
or we can put his head in your head.
But why would
But
you...
so
why,
what he does? So what they do then? They're going to take half his brain.
Half of his brain, take
Put it-
out half of hers, pop it in place
Why would she do that?
because she loves him.
But hold on, well, no, wait. What would she then be?
Because this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, sorry.
What happens is, he explains all this, so I mean, this would probably cover about 20 minutes in the film, but I'm just rushing
I just
rushing
switched
it up
off,
now.
but yeah.
No, you wouldn't. This bit would have you. So what...
Well, I'd have actually left when I wouldn't have even gone in to see a film starring Clive Warren and Rebecca De Mornay, unless it was 1985.
So the thing is, she's the same as you. She says the same thing. She goes, "Why would I do that, Doctor?" And he goes, "Well, what will happen is, he's gone, but you'll have his thoughts. So in the morning when you say, 'Oh, I don't know what to have,' well, they have cornflakes. His bit of the brain will sort of say,
Have a Weetabix.
have shredded wheat or whatever." And she's like, "Oh yeah, good idea."
Sorry. So the point of this film is that the dead man can remind her what breakfast cereal she likes.
Yeah. So the thought...
What do you mean, yes? So that's it, is it?
No, that's not the only thing.
Wait a minute, this is only Act 1.
That's just the first bit. Everything's going well. She has it done.
So who is she? Is she herself?
She's Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah.
But now
With
and again, with him chipping in with a bit of voiceover. So the idea is it's all going well at the beginning, and she's...
So she can't decide what dress to wear.
She's had half of her brain taken out and put in a bin, okay? And Clive Warren's half has been put in there. So now she's walking round, okay?
So she's like a schizophrenic.
No, like I say, the brain is alive, so it's all going well when she leaves hospital,
Yeah.
and she gets a first taste of it, and it's a bit weird to get hold of, because she's sort of... I think when she signs herself out, he's sort of fighting, writing his name and stuff, so there's a few sort of technical things that she has to get used to.
And does Clive's brain know that he's now inside her brain?
Does that matter?
Well, I would say it matters because otherwise...
Yes, it does matter, Karl. What's he thinking? What's the point of this? Why has she gone along with this?
Because she really loves him.
But what's in it for him? What does she think?
Well, say if I died, and Suzanne said, "Go on, I'll have half of Karl's," right? She would wake up in the morning to a thought of me sort of going, "Oh, you never guess what I've just thought about," or whatever. I'd still be there. The rest of your body is sort of waste, isn't it?
But Karl, the rest of your body's sort of waste.
No, it is kind of. If when someone dies, it's not that person anymore, is it? You can't have a chat with them. So if you could have someone's brain in your head when they're dead, you'd have it, wouldn't you?
What are you talking about? Why would I have someone's brain in my head when they're dead?
Well,
I've got a perfectly good brain.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have it done then?
Of course I fucking wouldn't.
I can also categorically state I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but you're saying that now, but once you're in that position that someone who, you know, you love and that dies, if the doctor said, "Do you want it?"
No! I'd go, no! It's madness!
I don't think
it's madness!
All right.
So, tell me a typical bit of dialogue.
Well, we've done the breakfast scene.
Yeah, that was dynamite.
Yeah.
That's fucking Oscar winning.
Yeah, can we do lunch?
There may be, like, at the funeral, because even though the brain's still alive, they still have the funeral, and you can have, like, a funny bit where they stood around the grave, and, like, there's some relation there who he doesn't like, and she can start laughing, and the family are looking at her going, "Why is she laughing?"
Yeah.
And she's sort of laughing, and he's saying something a bit rude, going, "Look at her head." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks like
Stuff
a
on the
fucking
family.
Yeah.
Little cameo for you.
Yeah.
And so you have all that, and people are sort of liking the film, thinking, "Oh, it's quite funny, this."
Yeah.
And then you hit them hard.
It's the most ludicrous idea for a film I've ever heard. It's the maddest. Honestly, it really is the ramblings of a mental case.
I have to say though, I am hooked now. I want to know what's going to happen next in the story.
Then what happens is, she hears the voice go, "Leslie, where are you?" or something.
Right.
Her name's not Leslie.
No.
She's thinking, "Who's Leslie?"
Yeah.
So in her mind, she's going, "Who's Leslie?" He's going, "Oh,
So he's thought, hang on, I've let something slip.
I've
here.
let something slip." So she's going, "Answer me."
Oh.
He goes quiet on her.
Oh.
So
He was having an affair.
this is the thing. So she's trying to hunt down
Leslie.
and
he's got to stop her thinking it.
then what happens is, I mean, you know,
Where your bags?
So he's got to hunt down Leslie.
so she's got to hunt down Leslie.
It's a woman, is it? Another Leslie, or
It's
is it
another
a bloke?
woman.
Right.
But what happens is, I mean, without ruining the end for everyone, what would sort of happen is...
Oh yeah, because we don't want to ruin it for them, because this will be filling the multiplexes in no time.
No, it's the greatest love story ever told, set in a head.
But listen, let's just get to
hang
the
on a
end.
sec though, Carl. I don't. Yeah, you've got to tell us the end. I don't think you can let people
come on,
listening
come on, what's
hanging
the
on
end?
waiting for the film.
Just let your mouth talk.
Right, so what I said was, maybe what happens is, his brain is more powerful than hers.
Right. How is there power? Why is there no power involved?
What I mean is, her brain was running the rest of her body.
Now he's
his
taken
brain,
over.
that gets more powerful and overrules her body.
Okay.
Yeah.
She then fancies Leslie.
So it's a lesbian
hold on,
film.
this is building up to a lesbian love. So what the?
Well, it's
what?
trendy, isn't it, that? So just have a bit of that at the end, and
So hold on. So he overpowers her, so she is now a lesbian. What's Leslie getting out of this? Why does Leslie think, hold on, why is my
Because-
dead lover's wife coming on to me?
because this is what I'm saying to you, it's relationships, it's the love of two brains.
Right, okay. Again, can anyone
a
out there, can we
subline.
make that into it? That's a quote. The relationships is a love of two brains.
Well, it's-
now, he's got something there. He's got something
Yeah.
there. But my point is this. Why is Leslie suddenly turned lesbian?
Because she loves the brain.
But does she know this is Clive Warren?
Rebecca will say something now and again, like, "Oh, I like me
Minge.
I like my food done like this or whatever," and it's all about Dave
I love
likes
my
it.
food cooked. Oh my, wait a minute, Clive Warren on this food cooked.
Yeah, I'm in two minds about this bacon.
Yeah,
What
I'm
I
going to
mean
turn
is
into a lesbian.
People
Shredded wheat.
people like what they like, and it's the same way, like I've said to you before, with someone who's been going out with a woman, and then is found out that she's got a twin sister, and they divorce that first twin and go out with the other twin. It's all the same. You're after the same thing, aren't you?
Yes, but that...
When a cat dies, you buy another one. It's the same thing. You want that same.
Yeah, but you
love
don't
for
necessarily
something.
switch your sexual orientation. In the case of your twin scenario, they both look the same.
Yeah. Has there ever been one where it's twin boy and girl? Go, well, I was going out with her, but I mean, he looks a bit like her.
Yeah, I loved boobs, now I like cock.
This is your problem. You don't know anything. And this theory about if your mouth talks enough, the brain will kick in soon. Well, I know that must be some people's favourite record, Steve.
Well, it's certainly one of mine.
Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen.
I won't hear a bad word said against the boss. A lot
No.
of people dismiss him, as you said in the past, as
No.
being some kind of stadium rocker, but you can't listen to a song like that and not be moved. Surely, Karl.
It's all right, yeah.
Brilliant. A passionate man.
Yeah.
What?
So, Karl.
No, it's right.
There's certain songs like that was all right. It didn't sound anything. If it wasn't Bruce Springsteen, if someone new came out sounding like that, I'd go, yeah, it's all right.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a regular Simon Cowell, aren't you?
I don't know if I like music as much as I used to now. That's what happens when you work in it, isn't it? Because I was Danny Minogue was on the telly in the
Is
week.
it like when you work in a sweet factory and you don't nick the Mars bars after a couple of months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Minogue was on the telly in the week, right?
Yeah.
And she was doing a medley.
Yeah.
Why do people do them?
Well, to try and get all the hits. I know what you mean, yeah.
But who's that busy that they haven't got time to listen to a full album or?
But it was like, it's like a meal in pill form.
Yeah.
Well, I like most of Danny Minogue's hits, but I don't like the whole song.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to just like pop the best bits down, 30 seconds, put them all together, yeah.
Well, I've got a Stars on 45 record from the 70s. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Stars on 45. But it's that, like you say, I mean, this one had a kind of, it would be a snatch of Stevie Wonder, followed by the MASH theme, followed by Layla, just the intro. It was sort of, it's not music, it's just...
Yeah. Well, we do a bit of that, don't we? That's what DJing is, isn't it? It's a bit of everything. But we play the whole song, don't we, often?
Mm.
Yeah, we're better, aren't we, Karl?
Oh.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Do you want to look at the list?
Yeah, well, it's got describe looks. That's our list. So this is a very amusing sort of link about describing your look.
I don't know, what's this? I don't remember this.
No, I just was thinking like, you know, everyone's got an idea in their head, right? Of what
Well,
they look like.
Careful, Karl. Don't open yourself up to criticism. Go on, yeah. Everyone's got an idea.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got an idea of what they look like and stuff. If someone wanted to know what I look like, or what Ricky looked like, or what you look like, Steve, if that.
Yeah.
What would you use to describe yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Words.
Not really. I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, like,
Someone who doesn't know us, we've got to describe, and what's the game to hopefully get some sort of interpersonal language going, so you know they've got the same image as you, to a certain extent.
I'm just thinking, if I was to meet Steve in a restaurant,
Yeah.
right,
Nothing untoward going on, we're just hanging out.
no, just having a chat, just
Yeah,
having a
sure.
normal night out.
Yeah.
Who's paying? Because, I mean, is it expensive?
Go
to
Dutch,
restaurant?
go Dutch. I mean,
Right, so I say to you, I'll see you at 8, right, in this restaurant. I turn up at the door. It's a bit of a posh place,
Mhm.
right? say is Steve Merchant in,
Yeah.
and the waiter sort of goes, I don't know, what does he look like, right? And
Where's he from?
just a little French fella.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what does he look like? So I'd the thing I'd pick up on first, tall lad,
Tall, yeah.
and then he goes, oh, well, you know, we've got lots of tall people in, right? And I go, oh, big eyes,
Big eyes.
yeah. And then he'd go, yeah, he's over there.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, you can have dinner and you can buy me dinner. I'm not sure you're going to get anywhere with me. You're slagging me off.
No, I'm not slagging you off though. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just using what comes to mind when.
And
I think of you.
can I just
Tall and big eyes.
Can I assume that they know, like, could I say, like, easiest for me would, I'd say, looks like Reg Varney from On the Buses. Would they understand that? Can I use sort of, like,
Yeah,
references?
he's 30 odd, this waiter, so he'll. Yeah,
So I
he'll know
go,
that.
oh yes, it's Reg Varney, he's sitting over there. Yeah. So he
that's
went
right.
German towards the end.
See, I describe you more, Rick, I think, as... I would imagine, I'd say, have you ever seen that Johnny Vegas on the telly?
Yeah.
Imagine he was inflatable and you just let out a little bit of air.
Alright, well at least that's
That's what
nice.
Ricky would look
As
like.
opposed to, like, you know, pumping harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, describe Karl I'd describe as, you know those little red monkeys that you see on wildlife programs? They're in the trees and they scream when they see a leopard or something.
I think so.
Shave that. Just
Right.
shave one of those little red monkeys and put some sort of, you know, old sort of Manchester gear on it, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
An anorak and some baggy jeans.
I'd like to see how the waiter would react to that.
Yeah.
He's got a picture of a monkey, then he's got a picture of it shaved. So he's got no hair, and then dressed like some kind of Manx scally.
There go, he's over there. Yeah, he's over there, Karl's over there. That's what I do.
Brilliant.
So, now coming up the Verve, after that, an amusing link about gay handkerchiefs.
Really? I'm looking forward to this.
Lucky Man by the Verve on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, what's the problem with gay hankies?
You played Bruce Springsteen last week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you said he had got a load of trouble on his hands when he had a hanky in his back pocket.
Did I say that on air or?
Well, we were just saying that famously on the cover of the Born to Run, Born in the USA album, it's just him, isn't it, with just his backside basically, with
Yeah.
a red handkerchief.
I wasn't looking.
Well,
I just.
well, I did it for research purposes for this amazing link. Yeah, he had a red handkerchief, I think, in his right hand pocket, and apparently
Yeah, it
that
was.
signifies homosexuality. Apparently, I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was which way you take. I don't know. These those myths, aren't they?
Right,
that go
yeah, well,
around?
exactly. I don't even know if
I don't
this
know.
is
No, well, I read up about it,
okay.
right?
Just research.
And it's all sort of, you know, you've got all different coloured hankies.
Are they?
Right? Yeah. Right, and it depends what pocket you put it in
Yeah.
as well. So you've got like the different colours, different pockets,
Yeah.
and
Sorry, how many variations are there? Different pockets is what?
well, you've
Recessive
got like
what-
your back pocket, your right back pocket.
But
your
what do they
left back
mean?
pocket. What do you mean?
Well, what do they signify? You can't just tell us they signify something. What do they signify?
Well, some stuff that we don't really want to talk about, to be honest.
What?
Sort of stuff that gays are into.
Right.
That's
So what do you mean?
Barbara Streisand records.
Yeah, yeah. Eurovision.
No, like a couple of things that were there that I know we can mention. They said something about
I love that. What he thinks he can't mention.
Yeah,
I love it. Decency. What is this? 1956.
no, but I mean, it isn't just, you know, having it away. This is-
Having it away. I love him.
No, but
Having it away.
they get up to some weird stuff.
I love the fact he didn't want to offend, but he's offended a lot more people
yeah.
by saying
Of
they
course.
get up to some weird stuff. Right.
In your opinion.
Yeah. What do you mean? No, no, but don't. If there is something that I don't know about that it's like you can't say on the radio.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
But what do you mean weird stuff?
Well, one of them, right? If you've got a red hanky, right,
Yeah.
in your right pocket,
Like Bruce.
Yeah.
That's
that what
exactly
he
what
had?
Bruce had, yeah.
right? Well, apparently then Bruce is an armpit freak.
An armpit freak.
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No. No.
But that's very specific.
Carl.
Seriously.
Well, what? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. What else is there then?
Sorry, is there some kind of homosexual body that sat down and came up with this at some point? Well, you said this is getting crazy. You've got like a blue handkerchief in your top breast pocket. I don't know what that means. You need to sit down. There's some kind of summit. Figure out what it means.
Yeah.
Well, it's just that you're not free from it either. So if you were to go in like a gay bar,
Yeah.
which you might do if you're straight anyway, because they're good places, I think. Right. You can't actually go in there if you've got a cold, because every coloured hanky represents something.
Right.
So if I was to go in, had a bit of a
sniffle,
I could get into all sorts of trouble.
Well, for that Marks and Spencer's white linen hanky, that means you like to be tied up and whipped.
Yeah. There was another one, armpit freak we've covered.
Yeah, armpit freak is done.
We've covered.
Armpit freak. I don't really know what that means.
So, right, okay, yeah.
But there was just one other thing, like a blue and white one, is if you're into sailors.
To sailors?
Yeah, if you have a little blue and white hanky, that's in your left pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
Blue and white equals sailor.